I have to admit, one of my few struggles of being on semen retention, and one of the only struggles that I've actually been um, going through, is sugar cravings. And I find myself craving a lot of sugar whenever it is I quit pornography and going on retention, right? Anytime that I relapsed and I would start my retention streak or retention journey again, within a couple of days, I would find myself having these high spikes of sugar cravings. And I gotta say, man, sugar is one of the things that I've been struggling my entire life. Staying away from sugar, denying myself of sugar has been very hard. And for 23 days or 24 days, I went on a sugar fast. For 20 or 24 days, I did not eat anything sugar. All the contents of food items that I was picking up had no indication of sugar, right? No grams of sugar, nothing sugar. And did I have a little bit more energy? Of course. You know, my mind was a little bit clearer. Were there times where I was craving sugar within those 24 days? For a couple days, yes. But overall, man, my sugar cravings aren't that extreme to where I need candy or I need to have some cookies or cake or a donut every day. This probably happens every few days. I can go days, weeks, months without sugar. I have proven that I can do that. I've proven to myself that I do not need a lot of sugar intake or anything at all. But the struggle of denying myself sugar every time I restart my journey on retention, whenever I did, and quitting pornography, it's like I would get this strong, powerful, um, unresisting temptation, this strong urge to just consume a lot of sugar. And it's because of, and obviously I'm doing more research on what makes me more addicted to sugar, right? What's going on in my brain? What type of chemicals are going off in my brain to where I just need to have that piece of that cookie, right? I just need to have that donut, right? And it's like to a point where I can't resist it all the time. And during the withdrawal phase, and during the times where my energy is kind of at a slump, right? A little bit irritable, a little bit foggy in the brain. That's when I get that instant craving. Like it can be anything from candy. And let me tell you something. When it comes to candy, bro, candy has been one of the hardest things for me to completely stay away from. Not that I can't stay away from candy. I can go days, weeks, months without a piece of candy. But to completely stay away from it for good, that has been a challenge. So for me, whenever I'm in that slump, whenever I'm in that phase of withdrawal, where my energy is at an all-time low, the first thing that I crave the most is sugar. I don't know if this has happened to you guys. I don't know if y'all have the same struggle. Let me know in the comment section if y'all been going through the same thing that I've been going through. Like, don't you find some things like food, sugar, like weed, or it could be alcohol? Don't you find all those other vices hard to resist after you just like you quit the pornographic content and you quit masturbation? Two of the biggest dopamine kicks there is, right? When it comes to masturbation and pornography, those two are a powerful vice to go to when you're feeling stressed or you're depressed or you're sad, lonely, whatever it is that you're going through. You find those two things as an easy outlet to let go or to escape from your pain, right? And then once you let those two things go, you finally had enough of going to porn and masturbation. You finally put those demons to rest. It's like now all of a sudden, you have to find a different vice. You have to find a different outlet to kind of release that pain, release that negative energy that you're feeling. And for me, guys, the biggest thing was going to sugar, right? Which is very unhealthy. Sugar is very unhealthy for the body, right? But it's one of it's one of those things that is hard to let go of. Because once you've consumed a certain amount of sugar for a certain period of time, your brain becomes desensitized to the taste of sugar. Also to what it looks like on billboards and commercials, and it's appealing to your eye, right? It's like sugar now becomes your new addiction. It becomes that easy out, the same way that masturbation and pornography were to your life. It was an easy out. It was an easy escape. So for me, I find myself within a couple of days going to sugar. And you may not know this, but during a time of withdrawal from pornography and masturbation, you're going to have unbelievable food cravings. You might find yourself overeating. You might find yourself eating foods, like comfort food that's unhealthy to the body. And for me, whenever I go through a relapse, whenever I went through a relapse, I always tried to go on a fast. I always tried to not even try. I would make sure that I drank a lot of water. I would make sure that I would have something nutritious, such as fruit, vegetables, right? Make sure that I'm exercising a lot harder, right? This happens the first 2 days for me. And then by the third or fourth day, man, I start getting that urge. I start feeling unusually hungry. Like now the hunger for food, the food cravings, man, they really start to kick in on a third or fourth day. Now I'm craving a whole pie of pizza. And it's like, I know damn well I'm not about to eat this whole pizza. And I wouldn't. I probably have about 4 slices, and which is way more than enough, right? And now all of a sudden I'm in the mood for some damn cookies. Now I want all these sugary sweets, and I'm like, I'm just like, man, what is going on, bro? Like, I know this is not good for my body. And then you get to a point, you think to yourself, which is worse? Would I rather have an addiction with, fapping my meat every day, 24/7? Or would I rather have an addiction to sugar, overeating? I mean, I don't know which one is worse. If I had to say which one was worse, it's, to me, pornography, masturbation. Because yeah, I can eat certain things, but I will still have enough energy to, carry out my day. Whereas if I released my semen, released my vital fluid, it's pretty much over for me the entire day. And I'm completely drained. And now I don't, like, once I lay down in my bed, I don't want to get up. Because releasing all that energy, it drained me, right? But if you eat something like a slice of pizza or a hamburger, yeah, it might have an effect on your energy for a little bit, but not too much to where you're just drained for the entire day and you can't move, right? It's not that serious, right? But it's not something you want to become addicted to. And when it comes to my retention journey, the past 3 years, and I would say a lot, especially this past year, sugar has been one of my biggest struggles. Sugar cravings and overcoming that high for sugar. It's like there's something that goes off, like a chemical reaction, a chemical that goes off in my brain to where I want to consume a cookie, right? And then once I consume that cookie or that piece of candy, I'm getting that same kick. I'm getting that same dopamine rush the same way that I would get if I was watching porn or if I was fapping, right? Or you busted a nut. It's almost that same feeling. It's not the same thing, but the feeling, right? The rush is kind of the same. And both are equally, or if not, one of the other is more unhealthy than the other. And I find myself having this struggle with getting rid of sugar out of my diet. That has been one of my biggest struggles on semen retention, something that I have not shared with you guys yet. But I'm here to share it and let y'all know this is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm having a hard time eliminating from my diet is sugar. And I had that same problem, man, earlier today. I had that same problem where I needed to, have that piece of candy. But it's like I had to ask myself, did I really need that though? Like when I really think about it and analyze the impact or the effects that this will have on my health, it's like when I take it to that route, I start realizing that I don't need it. That sometimes what we feel like we need is from a place of emotion, and we're not thinking rationally of what we actually need, right? And we have to come from a place when we make decisions, we have to come from a place of rationality and stop operating our emotions. You see, when we want that piece of candy or we go for a cookie, we want some cake. Slow down, not that type of cake. I'm talking about dessert, right? Sugary sweets. When we go for that piece of cake and we're craving it, we know it's unhealthy, but we are coming from a place of emotion. We're making that decision to have that piece of cake out of emotion. And we're not thinking from a rational standpoint. Well, if I eat this piece of cake and I know that I am on a weight loss journey, I know I'm supposed to be following a strict diet. Is eating this piece of cake, is that going to move me forward in my weight loss journey? Or is it going to hold me back further? And a lot of us don't even give ourselves that ultimatum. We go off of what we feel like we need, and then we try to justify it with logic. But we was emotional, 5 seconds, 10 seconds ago with making that decision. So that's just one of my struggles with being on retention. So let me know if y'all have had that same struggle with replacing another vice after pornography and masturbation with like food or sugar or maybe alcohol, marijuana, or something else to kind of like use as an escape, right, from reality. Let me know down in the comment section your thoughts. Thank you all for watching. This is the Retention Lifestyle channel, and I'm out. Peace.